It is storming outside. But I said, you know what? Maybe if I do it while it's storming, then before the signal is lost, because the signal typically mess up after the storm. But if I do it while it's storming, then I might actually get this video out. But this is not gonna take long. I just got a thought that I wanted to process live. I could have did a video, but I just want to process this live. Um, Coming into 47 and just like really being present and doing a lot of self-reflection, one of the things that I really been looking at is all of the beings that I've been able to channel, like individuals who represent like archetypes or models within the village, within our tribe collectively, how I'm able to channel that. And I think growing up in the South, being queer, living in growing up in a small country town in the South, but also living in a metropolitan city in the South, which would be New Orleans, and then just traveling all over Louisiana, traveling all over the country, living in New York, living in South Africa. It's allowed me to really just channel all kinds of aspects, of the tribe, and I could really just say from experiences, I could look at it from so many different angles, you know, um, the problem that we have within the village. And I could tell you now, firsthand, you know, everybody has an agenda, everybody who's participating in this matrix, especially people who are trying to achieve wealth, who are trying to achieve status, who are trying to achieve recognition, and want their legacy to be filled with accolades and for it to be kind of like time stamped, like a resume that says, hey, this is what you've done, because the funds, the currency that has been created, which allows you to have um, more access and more people seeing you because your creative energy is aligning with something that is approved by those who manufacture the American dream. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, there's this part of me that, doesn't see it as opposition. I see it for what it is. I see it for this sort of cosmic game that um, our ancestors or these ancient beings are participating in. It's cosmically to look at it, in the grand scheme of things. Um, there's this game that this eternal game or this eternal battle or this eternal struggle that's happening, and we are all factions or components of this huge battle or this huge challenge. So when you look at it on a cosmic level and you realize that a lot of people will choose certain rhetoric just to kind of like overcome obstacles, like for example, me when I'm talking on the phone to people, and they're very binary. Sometimes I don't argue when they misgender me, as long as I get what I want, and I don't make a big deal like especially when I'm dealing with elderly people or something like that. I'm not fixing to um, complicate the situation by, feeling like I need to argue with you about little small things. I'm just trying to get this over with. I'm just trying to keep it moving. And if I have a propensity to do that, being and trying to be the most authentic version of myself I can be, there are people who really legit just don't have a problem with how things are set up. You know, it's from beginning to end a game that they don't mind playing. And some of us wake up to be upset about racism. Some of us wake up to be upset about sexism. Some of us wake up to be upset about transphobia and homophobia. Some of us wake up because of the binary. Some of us wake up because of patriarchy or religion. Some of us wake up for the opportunity to be an elitist, to be a gatekeeper. Like this literally what motivates us. Like and when you break the village down or you break the tribe down, some of us we wake up this this is what motivates us. This is the whole reason why we're here. We are here for the bullshit. We are here for the fuckery. We say we don't like all that drama. We don't like all that, but definitely entertaining it. Definitely giving it your energy. Definitely. You say you're not here for it. You say you don't like it. You say this ain't your team, but you definitely keep coming back. Definitely at the table. You know what I'm saying? And and I was telling one of my friends this. I was like, when they talk about magic, and when we talk about is magic real or not, I don't think that it's magic. I think that it is just because there are beings that we ascended from who have been able to do things for so long that we now, us everyday people, the way that our pineal glands have been calcified and how we have been strategically um, herded into these spaces that do not call for us to use more than 10% of our brains. The powers that be would paint this narrative that humans who live in nature or humans who live in the wild or humans who don't participate in society, the powers that be would paint this narrative that these beings were savage, these beings were not sovereign, these beings were more animal in nature than human. And I I think it would be different. I don't think that a species could live in the wild and not have to use more of its brains in order to survive in a reality that was not. When I wake up in a house, I pretty much know how it's gonna go. At best, the air conditioner might go out. Um, if depending on the neighborhood, it could be a burglary. I mean, um, but these things are not likely, like a lot of things like stuff happens living in a house, true, but your outcome is more predictable. Oftentimes, you can about surmise how the day is going to go. But living in nature, because nature has so many different kinds of living beings in it, nature is more unpredictable. And so, just being in nature, I think that the species that we were that lived in nature, I think that they had to be more alert. They had to be more present. They had to figure out how they were going to eat, what they were going to eat, where it was going to come from. They had to, when it was cold, they had to figure out how they were going to stay warm. They had, like, it was just, to me, I feel like being in nature and not creating all of these barriers and all of these comforts that take us out of nature. Just like over time, if you don't use something, you lose it. So I think that's what happened to our brains. I think that's why we only use 10% of our brains. I do think that Neanderthals existed, um, but I don't know if everything that everything throughout time has been this version of the Homo sapien or the human being that was ogre ogre me want food ogre 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 rock ogre ogre tree ogre ogre. I mean, I just don't think that this is the height. Yeah, like we're on a predictable algorithm. Come on now. So I just don't think that this is not the height of human intellect. There are probably some amongst us, there are probably some beings amongst us who are moving in between the matrix and like probably some of the most brilliant people, they probably come out of nature for maybe 2 or 3 months of the year and participate in society. Like imagine being born into a super extremely wealthy family with, I mean, like not new money where you finna go on this roller coaster ride and you about to get in this rat race and you excited about it, but your family has had money, your family has had wealth. Your family has had resources. Your family has had power for centuries. Imagine being born into that kind of wealth. When a child comes into the world, they're going to have multiple teachers. They're going to be able to travel. They're going to be able to see the world. They're going to be able to take hiatuses. They're going to be able to go on retreats. Um, unless you're trying to breed this child to do a specific thing. But if you want this child to be well-rounded, a well-rounded guide, a well-rounded creator, or a well-rounded whatever, or just human being, then you're going to expose them to things that allow them not to look at the world through a narrow lens, because these they have the potential to be world builders because they have the resources and the access behind them. They have everything that they need. And so you're going to raise that child totally different. You're not going to raise that child the same way that you would raise the other 99% of the population, because we understand that billionaires can't stay billionaires if you are cultivating creatives and artists, because the wealth would begin to divide itself up. And the funny thing about it is, if the wealth was divided more, if the wealth was more spread out, power would look different. If the wealth was more evenly spread out, power would not look the same. The face of power would not look the same. And so this is why I titled the video the way that I did, because a lot of us are giving consent to this. A lot of us are giving consent to it. We consent to it through the language. We consent to it by just upholding stereotypes and upholding ideas that we were taught, simply because we don't have time. Like you hear rhetoric like, I don't have time to teach you. I'm not about to teach you. Like, yeah, I am going to teach you. I am going to take the time to tell you that this is not working for me. This is not how I want to maneuver. And this is not what I want our exchange to be like when we share space with each other. Sometimes, you have to pick your battles. And that's what I'm learning more and more as I get older. But I'm also learning to listen to people. I'm learning to listen to their language. I'm learning to listen to their rhetoric. And when I listen to what they're saying and I see that you are here for the American dream, you are here for the binary, you are here for patriarchy, you are here for extreme capitalism, you are here for a government that's not really doing anything but distracting us, you are here to sit up and talk about um baby, who we gonna vote for, who we gonna vote for, as if your vote mattered. Like, I'm not gonna sit up and argue with you, but it's literally they literally is documentation in the library that says that the electoral college vote was created because the founding fathers did not trust the people to elect the president of the United States. And so if your vote doesn't really matter when you're electing the president of the United States, who gets to choose who the Supreme Court is going to be, and y'all go along with this all the time. Like y'all literally like this is you know it's bullshit. You know it's a lie and you go along with it simply because you want what you want. You want to get your little cut, you want to get your little piece. And I'm okay with you doing that. Like we all came here to have our own different experiences, but don't piss on me and tell me it's lemonade. Let's just let it be piss. Let's just this it's okay, let it be piss. Don't tell me it's something else. Don't try to get me to go on this magical carpet ride with you. Like, don't tell me that we're at the height of technology when if we look throughout time, there's been examples of beings that had power and the technology was in them. You know, we live in a reality now that is harvesting our intellectual property, that is harvesting our creative gifts, that is harvesting our DNA, that is harvesting our technological power inside of us. Is harvesting it and it's using it against us. And we're calling this like we are not like I don't feel that leaving nature, like even when um Martin Luther King said he was integrating his people into a burning house, like if we think about the depth of that, like leaving society, like coming into society and choosing to be a part of society and choosing to be a part of this, what's happening now, and be invested in the American dream, choosing to be invested in the binary, choosing to be invested in all of this. This, we made the choice. Yeah, yeah. Thank you, Victor. Is that your name? Because I don't want to be calling you a name that's not your name. But because sometimes we have, old names. So I don't know if that's your old name or your new name, or if that's just you ain't never changed it, or is you good with that name? I like that name though. That's a good name, Victor. That means we around here winning. I like seeing Victor in my comment section. Or is that just the internet name? Is that just your internet name? But yeah, that's pretty much that's pretty much like I'm just in this place right now. Well, I'm just listening to people when they be talking. I'm like, okay, okay. And I'm so happy to be in this place because um when I get ready to leave from where I am now, I'm going back to I'm gonna be based back in Washington Parish. And when we be young, we be wanting to get away from the country. We don't want to live. This is boring. This is small town. This is jaded. This is we want to go to the big city because they smarter. They know more. They doing more. They accomplishing more. Get out the small town with these know nothing people. And some of that is true. Some of it's true. So I don't think that traveling is wrong. I don't think it's wrong to go off and find you. I don't think it's wrong to explore the world and to go and see and to go and have experiences. And I'm just thankful that my experience is not one that is calling me away from what I knew, but it's calling me back to what I knew so that I could add to what is. I can, because I think sometimes we have to go on a journey. Um, because when we first come out, we don't necessarily fit, and so we have to go and live and have these experiences that shape and mold us and show us who we are and reveal us our form. Like, imagine you come here and as a baby, you fit, you fit, but um they start building this simulation around you. They start doing all of this building, and as they're building, they're changing the pieces that are around you. Come on now, somebody, come on now, follow me, follow me. So you was fitting, you was good. But then they start messing with all the pieces around you. They start reshaping them. They start doing all of this, and they start, recrafting the shapes. And so you leave because you no longer feel like that is the space for you. So you have to leave. And what happens to you while you're gone is this process of being shaped and being molded and being worked on. And when you go back into the space and you fit because all of a sudden there's something about you that reminds everybody else who they are. And so they start reshaping and all of the bindings and all of the tricks and all of the mental games that were played and all of the experiments that were done are somehow undone because of the journey that you went on, and you go back into that place, and now you're a part of that healing process. So sometimes um you gotta go on a journey to undo some things that you ain't even mess up. Wasn't even your fault. But thank God, Goddess, you was prepared though, huh? Anyway, I just needed to unpack that and talk about that. I know I'm supposed to be getting another channel. I know I'm not supposed to be going live. But I just been, I just been having so many thoughts, and like I be wanting to unpack them. I'm in a good space. You know, I'm not letting this desire to be with a man or to have a physical relationship. Um, I'm not letting it control me. I was listening to Yeez, and that's another Gemini, and he got this song called "Bad Motherfucker," and I love the song. Like I'm in that space. Like, I'm just right now. This is a season to be more focused on my creativity. This is a season of restoration. This is a season of shedding things that do not serve my purpose. You know, yeah, and I'm just happy to be in this space. I'm happy to be in this space. And sometimes I may get on here and it may sound like I'm babbling or I'm rambling, and that's because I am. I'm legit processing things real time. So when you do that, it's gonna sound like babble. It's not gonna sound like a prepared. It's not gonna sound like a dissertation. It's not gonna give speech. It's gonna give very much we are processing this live, and that's what I like doing. I'm just so infatuated with my art. Oh, I was gonna paint this, but I decided not to paint it. I just put some wire on it because it was breaking. And then this is my infinity piece right here. This wood came from New York. I made that with some wood I found in Brooklyn. Well, with some branches I found in Brooklyn. And you see the infinity symbol behind the infinity symbol. Oh, all the infinity symbols. This is like I remember one time I was high off of shrooms, honey, and this was when it was located somewhere else. Until I was high off of shrooms, and baby, we was standing up in front of this right here. And we was standing up right in front of this, and I swear it looked like a portal had opened and you could walk through. Anyway, let me get off this live. Cause I'm about to I got to work on some stuff today. I got to finish getting my shit together. Yeah, it's a lazy day because it's raining outside. I want to go outside and collect some of that rainwater though. Anyway, I love y'all. I'll talk to y'all later. Down but none that I say cool keep spinning and turning Iangani Yanko Kalukalo, which means I'm a child of God goddess. And if I am, you know you are. Mwah. Here come the bots. They gonna watch it. The bots, since y'all not gonna share my shit, bots, can you click like? Can bots click like? If so, thank you, bots.